Hey there, YouTube. Will Chandler here, handle the Guardian Fury. I'm going to go ahead and read uh, another chapter or two of my book, Amor, Fati, The Love of One's Fate. So here we go. I'm be going off with chapter 4 today, Shifting Sands. A power shift happened between my stepfather and me in the spring time frame of 1994. I was 15 years old. We were in the gym in Vernon, Texas, getting a leg workout in. Mark made a derogatory remark about my mother and was laughing about it. I saw red and attacked. I remember standing over him. He was on his knees, facing away from me as I grabbed his head and neck with both hands. I said into his right ear that if he ever disrespected my mother again, I would kill him. The mirror in front of us caught my attention from my movement. What I saw in my own face scared me and sticks with me to this day. I saw what I was capable of doing and didn't want to lose control again. Seeing death in my own face, I let go of his neck and head and stumbled backwards a few steps. We finished our workout. He was pretty sore for a few days from my rageful attack. He remained very cautious around me until we left Texas in the fall of 1994. After taking some control from my stepfather, I used my newfound position to have a positive impact on home life for my mother and sisters. I used myself as a bargaining chip, as I knew that he looked at me more like a wife/partner than my own mother. I knew that he wanted time with me above anyone else in the family. I must mention, again, that he had been abusing and grooming me since I was 4. Some of my actions played into his long-term goal for him and me. Time with me and access to me became dependent on how well he treated my mother and sisters. For many years, my mother and sisters had no idea why things got profoundly better at times. It was part of my negotiations. My mother and sisters felt a bit sick, as I recall, when they found out many years later what I had done to make life better for them. My mother showed no signs of leaving him at the time, so I didn't have many other options at my disposal in my young, brainwashed mind. To celebrate Russia legally allowing the JWs to practice their faith, the Jehovah's Witnesses held a large international convention in Moscow in 1993. Victoria's father and my stepfather both applied to have family members go. To be approved would be a great honor amongst the Jehovah's Witnesses. Bear in mind the known physical abusiveness of Brian, Victoria's father. Also keep in mind that my stepfather was a known pedophile to the Jehovah's Witness leadership. Both of our families got approved to send 2 family members to the prestigious International JW Convention in Russia in 1993. Any Jehovah's Witness in attendance internationally could be considered strong in the truth, as they would have been approved by multiple levels of JW leadership. Any in attendance would feel safe with any other JW family there. After all, God's visible organization on earth had approved them to be in attendance. 2 Jehovah's Witness families with known severely abusive spiritual heads were approved to send 2 family members each to the International JW Convention in Russia in 1993. Victoria's father and older brother, Judas, attended said convention. From my family, my mother and older sister attended the same convention. I was left alone with my stepfather for a couple weeks. Vicky and my sister both desperately wanted a pen pal to write to on a regular basis. Information was exchanged, and in short order, Vicky and my sister were regularly writing back and forth to each other for over a year. After months of writing back and forth, Vicky and her brother Judas came to stay with us for 5 weeks at our home on County Road 107 South, just outside of Vernon, Texas. 2 JW minors were sent to a known pedophile's house without their parents. No level of Jehovah's Witness leadership warned their parents of the predator their children would be staying with. It was known for months and bragged about by the local elders that 2 minors from an upstanding Jehovah's Witness family in England were coming to Vernon, Texas to stay with us for 5 weeks. It was a series of blunders, at best, by every group that should have been protecting children. No one warned Vicky's parents that my stepfather was a pedophile, even though it was known. It is almost like my stepfather was rewarded for being an abusive pedophile. Here's a few more innocent kids, good job. The only thing standing in my stepfather's way was me, and I did not falter. I kept a close eye on him while Vicky and Judas were staying with us. The need to do so is evident in his eyes and facial expression in a couple of the pictures in this chapter. Vicky and I met through a rather large violation of trust amongst the Jehovah's Witnesses on an international scale. I still vividly remember meeting Victoria Taryn Jones for the first time. I wrote a poem partly about that earlier this year. Amor, Fati, love of one's fate. The first moment that I saw you, I had to look away. You shone as bright as the sun at midday. Two beings entwined throughout time. Fate weaves a web, beautiful by design. An ocean, a continent, we are time zones apart. The distance between us feels like tears in our heart. In reality, to get to you only takes a day. To live in a time such as this keeps my soul from drifting away. To go from Crewe, England, to a small town in the middle of nowhere, Texas, would be a bit of culture shock to anyone. Vicky and her brother got a bit of an extra dose of extreme JW life by staying with us for 5 weeks. The experience was not like a typical first time abroad in another country, let alone the United States. Our daily JW routine did not get very interrupted, as it was just like having 2 more siblings in the family. Vicky still remembers being disappointed at times with her first trip to the States. We maintained our regular pioneer status by making sure we spent at least 90 hours a month in field service. We also had 3 JW meetings a week. Judas came to work with my stepfather and me. Vicky went cleaning with my mother and sisters for the family business. I'm sure that was fun on vacation, but at the end of the day, they were used to a family environment such as this. Amidst all of the Jehovah's Witness activities, I do recall some fun times as well. We spent a bit of time in the gym teaching Vicky and Judas how to lift weights. Vicky has very vivid memories of her brother throwing up because he could not keep up with the workouts. I remember sharing some of our favorite places to eat in Vernon, and it being new cuisine for Vicky and her brother. We went to the Oklahoma State Fair as well. Vicky remembers discussing with her brother how serious I was most of the time. This shows through in the Western-themed picture that my older sister, Vicky, Judas, and I took at the fair. For one of the pictures, the photographer told Judas and me to go for a serious and menacing look. I seemed to have an effective cold stare, implying serious potential for havoc. I guess that makes sense. We also took a cross-country trip to see the world headquarters of the Jehovah's Witnesses. We stopped in Scranton, Pennsylvania on the way to see my mother's sister and her children. The first picture in this chapter is Vicky at 16. We got Vicky on her way to the States here. We got Vicky and me sitting next to each other. This is Vicky, Judas, Will, and my older sister. That's the picture of us at the state fair. This is a picture of Will next to Judas in Texas. This is a picture of Mark spotting Will in the gym. Spotting. And picture of Mark next to Judas. Yeah, he's definitely looking at Judas there. There's me at 15 in the Vernon, Texas gym. And me again in the Vernon, Texas gym. That's 15. So that's chapter 4. On now to chapter 5, Scranton and going to the mall. Scranton was a great part of the trip. Probably the best and one of the most memorable parts for Vicky and me. I remember being excited to get inside and see my cousins when we arrived in Scranton. To this day, I do not get excited about much. I had not seen them for 3 years. My cousin Jesse did not recognize me at first. I had gone from a pudgy 12-year-old boy to a 170-pound bodybuilder at 15. The look of surprise on her face still makes me smile. It was a relief to see Kevin again, the only friend I had known growing up. I clearly remember Vicky's brother, Judas, falling head over heels for my beautiful Gap girl cousin, Jessie. Vicky and I both remember helping my cousins with their paper routes. We explored the city of Scranton together. Vicky remembers having fun doing girly shopping at the mall and getting ice cream. We played card games, at which my cousin Jessie was absolutely amazing. We had fun and were fairly normal for a few days, with minimal Jehovah's Witness activities for the first time of the trip. We had to buck the system a bit to get some of that normal time. We had been kept under close control and supervision. This was particularly true of Vicky and me, as it was obvious how in love we were. My mother didn't let us out of her sight. Judas and Jessie then proceeded to fall for each other. At the suggestion that all us kids go to the mall, my mother wasn't having it. She seemed to think that Vicky and Jessie would somehow come back pregnant. We have to thank Judas for getting us the time away to be normal. Judas was just about to hit legal adulthood during the trip, and more importantly, he was a baptized brother in the Jehovah's Witnesses. This technically meant that he outranked her. He used that position to get us all to the mall for some fun and time away. Thank you, Judas. The mall at Steamtown was perfect. We recall it being 6 teenagers having fun at the mall, finally something normal and away from parents. Vicky remembers it as the first mall that she went to. She tried on clothes and hats while goofing around just like in an 80s or 90s mall movie. We went to the food court and got ice cream. We took pictures with ear-to-ear smiles. Life was good. We went to the Disney store where Vicky and I got little keepsakes for each other that we still have to this day. Vicky and I also wrote short love letters to each other on the back of copies of a photo of us together in the mall food court. We have treasured those our whole lives and still have them. It was Tuesday, 13 December, 1994. This is figure 11. This is me and Vicky at the mall. Next picture, that's also another photo of me and Vicky at the mall there. And that is, there's the notes that we wrote to each other. I'll read those. So that's it. This one here says Will's note to Vicky on the back of one of their pictures together. It says, Vicky, I wish I could find the words to tell you how much I care for you. But I can't put it in words and tell you to what extent I care for you. I hope I haven't hurt you. That is the last thing I would want to do to someone so special. We will see each other soon. At least it won't be 7 years. The card puts it well that you, that you got for us. And I want you to know that I love you with all of my heart. As far as a 15-year-old can tell, put that in parentheses. If we don't get to properly say goodbye, I give you my hugs and kisses in spirit. You will be on my mind, and I look forward to seeing you again. Love, Will. X's and O's. And now here's Vicky's note to me. It's at the top. It says Philemon 4, I believe, and Genesis 31, 49 maybe? 49? It says, Will, I don't really know what to write. I think you know how I feel. I do really care for you, and I want you to know I have had a lovely time. I'm so glad we got to know each other well. You're a very special person, and I will miss you so much. So I hope it won't be too long before you visit. Oh man, I'll miss you. The little expression my little sister used to always say, oh man. I'll miss you, it says. We have so many special moments captured on camera. I will remember all those times we had butterflies together. I don't like goodbyes, so I'll say see you soon, and I will be thinking of you always. All my love, Vicky. XX. Oh, that's the end of chapter 5. So once again, this is my book, Amor, Fati, The Love of One's Fate. You can find it on Amazon. This is Will Chandler, handle of Guardian Fury. Y'all have a good one.